So let's start with the shaved Brussels sprouts. I made it really easy for myself, and I just bought ones that are already pre-cut. You can buy these at like Whole Foods, or I think Safeway carries them in most grocery stores. They either have like the cube Brussels sprouts or they have the full Brussels sprouts. If you're trying to cut them to this size, you just kind of just want to slice them relatively thin. And I like to grab a big sheet pan for this. I already put a little bit of olive oil on it. Put that over. And you're really just gonna dump it out on there. And then I typically do, for each package, I usually do about half an onion. So I already chopped up half an onion, so I'll just add that in as well. And then I usually do about 4 cloves of garlic. So you can do like already chopped garlic. I just do a little sliced garlic that I chopped up earlier. And then I'll add some olive oil and just toss this around. I already washed my hands, so I hand toss, but you can use tongs, you can use spatula, whatever is convenient for you. Brussels sprouts, I used to hate as a kid. But they're one of my vegetables that I've grown to like absolutely love. They're cruciferous vegetables, similar to cauliflower and broccoli. So they have a lot of good roughage and fiber for you. So this is another way we're going to be able to work in more fiber. They are also have vitamin C, which helps with our immune system. And honestly, I keep it pretty simple with my Brussels sprouts. You can always jazz it up and add way more seasonings to it. I typically just do garlic, onion, salt, and olive oil. Just grab a little bit of salt. It is an acquired taste. My brothers notoriously don't like them, but since I've shown them this way to make them, and they're like, wow, this is delicious. I will eat these all the time. And the nice thing about this, I will roast a whole pan, and yes, I'll use it for lunch and dinner, but I also like to use it in my eggs. So it's a nice way to incorporate more fiber and vegetables into your breakfast in the morning too. Just cook it up with 2 eggs. I also like to just add it to salad. So I'll do like Brussels sprouts. I'll add some like fresh greens. Sometimes I'll add quinoa, and then some nuts, seeds, sometimes some dried fruit or fresh cut apple. Some of my go-tos, but it's really versatile after you cook it. So I just add that, and then I'll do the sweet potatoes. I have another pan that I did that, and I started chopping the sweet potatoes already. I didn't do all of it, but I just cut them up roughly, just into like cube-sized pieces. Keep it simple. And then with the sweet potatoes, I guess it depends on what I'm doing for the week as far as flavor profile. Sometimes I'll just do olive oil, salt, and pepper. Sometimes I'll add in like paprika, or I'll do like a taco seasoning type flavor if I'm doing like a taco bowl. I really like to keep it simple, easy. You don't always have all the spices and everything on hand. So yeah, I'm just gonna do a little bit of olive oil on here, and then some salt and pepper. Yes, I do like to do the sweet potato with the skin, so I do wash it, and I have like a little scrub just to get all the dirt and things like that off. But there are a lot of the nutrients actually live in the skin of plants and vegetables. So I like to, and also fiber. So I like to keep the skin on, and I think you don't even notice it once it's cooked. It still tastes delicious. Yeah, I like to do that with my, I actually do that for my smoothies, where I prep everything in a bag. That was the other option that I was going to showcase today. I like to take, greens, and then throw in like maybe half a banana. Sometimes I'll add some pineapple for some, bromelain and enzymes there. And then I add like chia seeds, flax seeds, sometimes some protein powder, and I keep that all in a Ziploc bag, and I just store it in my freezer. So I just dump that into my blender and then add whatever liquid and ice, and good to go. So then the nice thing about these, I cook them on separate pans just because the sweet potatoes tend to take a little bit longer than the Brussels sprouts, especially when they're shaved. But I preheat my oven to about 425 degrees, and then I throw in the Brussels sprouts for about 12 to 15 minutes, and I usually mix them up about halfway through. As far as the sweet potatoes, it's usually about 20 to 25 minutes, and again, I mix them about halfway through.